Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of TableTalk. Today's episode we're talking about Ticket to Ride New York and Ticket to Ride London. These are smaller versions of Days of Wonder's Ticket to Ride series. They're city maps, which are smaller in size.
Both Ticket to Ride is about 10 to 15 minutes game, but we found that we've been playing for 15 to 30 minutes. It really depends on how quickly each player takes their turn. It can play for 2 to 4 players. Let's start with Ticket to Ride London.
In Ticket to Ride London, you're going to shuffle and deal 2 cards of the train cards in this game, and you will deal 2 ticket cards to each player. At the beginning of the game, each player will then look at their tickets and decide which of them they would like to keep and which they would like to discard. They must keep at least one, and they will be scored at the end of the game based on the point value for being complete. If they're incomplete, you will lose these points. In this case, keep both tickets. So on your turn, you're going to have a choice of 3 things. Either drawing from the draw pile 2 cards, either face up or from the deck, or any combination of the 2, unless you draw a wild. If you draw a wild face up, then it is the only card that you can take. And if you draw from the pile first, you cannot take the wild face up. If at any point there are 3 wilds face up here, you'll flush them by removing them all, putting them in a discard pile, and refresh the entire row. The second thing you can do is draw more tickets. So if you've completed your tickets, or you've given up on trying to complete them because someone has kind of blocked you off from it, you will draw 2 tickets, and you must keep at least 1. The last thing you can do in your turn is to claim routes. The way you claim routes is playing the amount of cards required based on the length of the train, or in this case, the road. So to claim this one, I would need to play 2 green cards, or in this case, I would need to play 2 black cards. By playing the 2 cards, I can then put my pieces down and claim it for 2 points. And I will move my score marker around the board because that is the scoring track. In the double routes, once someone claims one side, the other side in a 2-player game is unavailable for the other player. In a 3 or 4-player game, they are both available as long as the same person does not claim both. And the game will go on like this until a player has 2 or less, in this case, buses, double-decker buses, in which case, once a player has 2 or less, everyone in the game will receive 1 final turn. Then we'll move on to scoring. This is the point to double check, make sure everyone got the points. The second thing you'll score is for complete and incomplete routes. If they are finished by connecting both cities, then you will receive the points at the bottom of the corner. If you did not connect the 2 locations, then you will lose these points. And the last thing you'll get are bonus points. In this game are the districts. In this case, if you connected, say, all these 5 dots together, then you'll get 5 points. In this case, if you connect here, you'll get 1 point. All the 2s, 2, 3s, and 4s, you'll get the respective points based on the size of the district. And whoever has the most points after scoring is the winner. And that's how you play Ticket to Ride London. Now, let's talk about Ticket to Ride New York. In Ticket to Ride New York, much like Ticket to Ride London, each person will get 2 train cards, and they will get 2 ticket cards. They will choose which of the tickets they want to keep. They must keep at least 1. And there will be 5 cards dealt out as part of the draw pile. And just like normal Ticket to Ride, you're going to be either drawing cards, drawing tickets, or claiming a route. Unlike normal Ticket to Rides, there is not a scoring track around the board, however. So instead of scoring during the game for each route. You will score it at the end on this score pad, as well as the tickets for completed tickets or subtracting points for incomplete tickets. And the end game bonus in this game is for connecting to any of the tourist attractions. All you have to do is claim a route that connects them, and you only get 1 point per tourist attraction that you connect. And just like normal Ticket to Ride, once a player has 2 or less, in this case taxis, everyone will get one final turn, and the person with the most points after totaling the routes, tickets, and tourist attractions will be the winner. That is how you play Ticket to Ride New York. Now let's talk about our opinions on the city maps that we have. They also have Amsterdam, and soon they will be coming out with San Francisco. All of them are going to be the smaller map, 15-minute versions of Ticket to Ride, I believe. And we don't own Amsterdam or San Francisco, but maybe those will come in a future video. Your feelings on the 2 city maps that we have?
I like both city maps and games. It's very easy to learn and play. It's great for playing with children. One thing I didn't care for New York is I didn't care for the score pad. I prefer to have a score track so you can easily keep track of the score, and it's quicker adding up the final score at the end of the game.
I understand. I agree, because I typically play with you. But I have seen on online forums or other places, or even in other instructions that suggest, oh, you should score here, like this way or whatever, just because of the way certain maps function. Some people do score everything at the end. They just don't even worry about it. Which I will say, my only experience doing that is New York. I do find it kind of interesting, because by not keeping track of that score, you don't really know where you stand, where in normal Ticket to Rides, where you score in the middle, you can be like, oh no, I'm behind, I need to get more tickets. You can try to strategize a way to catch up, where in New York, and for everyone who scores at the end, yeah, it's definitely just like, hey, I'm gonna play to play, and I won't know if I'm winning until the very end.
A little less competitive.
Yeah, well, depending on who you are. If you have a hard competitive spirit, I don't think it's gonna stop you from being competitive. But definitely, it feels a little less competitive because you just have no idea.
Okay, so in Ticket to Ride London, there are 17 buses. So the game is a little bit longer compared to Ticket to Ride New York with only 15 taxis.
Right. You only get... The difference is you start off with 2 more pieces, which, hey, that's one more turn, essentially, in comparison. I do like the artwork. Obviously, you can see based on the lid, New York is a little 50s-esque themed, and the London is a little 70s kind of theme. What? I'm just saying, each Ticket to Ride has a thematic date that they correspond to, or decade, I should say. Which I really like the artwork in London. They throw in the Yellow Submarine, famous song by the Beatles.
Yeah. I don't have anything else to talk about the differences.
That's all about Ticket to Ride, London and New York that we have to say. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and catch you in the next one.
Bye-bye for now.